First up, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with S mint mark and why this coin in fine condition can be so valuable in today's market. This coin comes from the long-running Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which started in 1909 and ended in 1958, and it is loved by collectors all over the world because of its history, design, and connection to American life in the mid-20th century. The 1951 Wheat Penny was produced during a time when the United States was recovering from World War II and moving into a new era of growth in industry. The San Francisco Mint struck these coins with great care, and the S mint mark on the reverse below the date instantly tells collectors that this coin came from that historic mint. The San Francisco Mint was known for lower production numbers compared to Philadelphia, which makes many S mint coins harder to find today, especially in nice original condition. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design created by Victor David Brenner. This was the first time a real person appeared on a regular circulating United States coin, and that alone gives the Lincoln cent a special place in history. Lincoln's portrait on the 1951 penny shows strong details in the hair, coat, and facial features. When the coin is in fine condition, even after decades of circulation, you can still clearly see Lincoln's jawline, hair texture, and the word Liberty on the left side of the coin. On the reverse side, the famous wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum at the top. This wheat design represents prosperity, agriculture, and strength, and it is one of the most beloved designs ever used on American coinage. Collectors often feel a strong connection to these coins because they were used in everyday life for generations. Now let us talk about the fine condition, because this matters a lot when it comes to value. A fine condition 1951 S wheat penny shows moderate wear, but all major details are still visible. The wheat lines are mostly clear, the date and mint mark are sharp, and Lincoln's portrait is well defined, though slightly worn. Coins in this grade usually have smooth surfaces and a natural brown color that many collectors prefer over harshly cleaned coins. The mintage of the 1951 S wheat penny was lower compared to the Philadelphia issues, which adds to its desirability. Over time, many of these coins were heavily circulated, used in stores, vending machines, and daily transactions, which means finding one today in fine condition without damage is becoming more difficult each year. Collectors value originality and honest wear much more than cleaned or altered coins. In today's market, the value of a 1951 wheat penny with S mint mark in fine condition can range from about $10 to around $25, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall preservation. Coins with a strong, even brown tone and no corrosion or major marks can reach the higher end of this range, sometimes even more if demand is strong and collectors are competing for quality examples. What really drives the value is not just age, but scarcity in collectible condition. Many people assume all old pennies are common, but that is not true. Once you factor in condition, mint mark, and survival rate, the number of nice remaining examples becomes much smaller. This is why collectors are willing to pay good money for a solid, fine condition coin. Another important factor is long-term collector interest. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series is one of the most collected series in American numismatics. Beginners, advanced collectors, and investors all look for key dates and better mint mark coins. The 1951 S fits perfectly into this category because it is affordable yet challenging to find in clean original condition. As time goes on, fewer of these coins remain available because they are being placed into collections and held for the future. This steady demand, combined with limited supply, helps support and gradually increase value over time, making the 1951 wheat penny a smart addition for anyone building a serious collection. If you have one of these coins, it's important to store it properly. Keep it in a dry place, away from moisture. Avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers, and never clean the coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its value. Collectors always prefer original, untouched coins. In closing, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with S mint mark in fine condition is more than just an old penny. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of a past era, and a coin that continues to gain respect in the collector market. Its solid value, strong demand, and classic design make it a standout in the wheat cent series and a coin worth holding on to if you are lucky enough to own one. Is the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark and in normal, fine condition. This coin looks simple, but it carries strong history and collector interest, especially for people who are new to coin collecting. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series started in 1909 and continued until 1958. These coins are loved because they show real American history in small copper form. The 1944 wheat penny was made during a very important time when the world was still affected by World War II. During this period, the United States Mint returned to making pennies from copper after using steel in 1943 because copper was needed for war supplies. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark was made at the main mint facility. This is why there is no letter under the date. Millions of these coins were produced, and they were released into everyday circulation. People used them to buy food, newspapers, and daily necessities. Because of this, many coins became worn over time. When we say normal, fine condition, it means the coin has been used but is not damaged. Abraham Lincoln's face is still clear, the hair details are visible but worn, the wheat ears on the back are visible but smooth. The date and lettering can be read easily. This condition is very common for old coins that were used in daily life. Many people think all old pennies are worth a lot of money, but value depends on condition, rarity, and demand. The 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition is very common in fine condition. This is why it is not considered rare. However, collectors still like it because it is over 80 years old and part of the classic wheat penny series. In today's market, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in normal, fine condition usually sells for a small premium over face value. The average value is around 10 cents to 25 cents, depending on eye appeal and overall wear. Some examples may sell slightly higher if the color is attractive or if the coin has better detail for its grade. It is very important to understand that extremely expensive 1944 copper pennies are error coins. These include rare steel planchet errors or unusual minting mistakes. Those coins are extremely rare and are not the same as the normal copper wheat penny found in circulation. The standard 1944 copper penny in fine condition does not reach high dollar values. Even though the value is modest, many collectors enjoy keeping this coin. It represents a time when the world was changing and America was recovering from war. The coin tells a story of history, economy, and everyday life. People often start their coin collecting journey with wheat pennies because they are affordable and easy to find. If you have a 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark, it is still worth keeping. It may not make you rich, but it is a real piece of American history. As years go by, collector interest continues, and well-kept coins always remain desirable among hobbyists. To summarize, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in normal, fine condition is a common but historic coin. Its value in today's market is usually between 10 cents and 25 cents. This coin is best appreciated for its history rather than its price, and it remains a favorite among wheat penny collectors. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark is one of the most well-known coins in United States history, and it represents an important time during the Second World War. This coin was made in very large numbers at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not carry any mint mark on the front. In 1944, the United States returned to using copper-based metal for pennies after the steel cents of 1943. This makes the 1944 wheat penny special because it marks the return to the traditional bronze composition that collectors recognize and love. The obverse of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on the left and the date 1944 on the right. The reverse design shows two wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This classic wheat design was used from 1909 until 1958 and is one of the most collected coin designs ever made. Even though more than 1 billion of these pennies were produced in 1944, this coin still attracts collectors because of its strong historical background and its connection to wartime America. Many people saved these coins, and many are still found today, but condition plays a very big role in value. Extra fine condition means the coin has light wear only on the highest points, and most details are still sharp. Lincoln's hair, coat, and facial features are clearly visible, and the wheat lines on the back are mostly complete. This level of preservation makes the coin much more attractive than heavily worn examples. In today's collector's market, a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in extra fine condition is worth more than face value, but it is not considered a rare or extremely expensive coin. Most examples in this condition usually sell for a small collector premium. In general, the value today is commonly in the range of a few dollars, depending on eye appeal, color, and overall surface quality. Coins with original brown or red-brown color often sell for slightly more than darker or spotted pieces. While it will not make someone rich, it is still a solid collectible coin that holds steady value and strong demand among wheat penny collectors. It is also important to understand that very high prices for 1944 pennies are usually connected to rare error coins, such as wrong metal strikes or unusual mint mistakes. Those are completely different coins and are extremely hard to find. The normal 1944 wheat penny without mint mark in extra fine condition is valued for its history, condition, and classic design, rather than rarity. If you have one of these coins in extra fine condition, it's definitely worth keeping. It represents a key year in American history and a beloved era of coin design. For collectors building a Lincoln Wheat set, this coin is an essential part of the series and a nice example of mid-20th century United States coinage. Even though it is common, it still carries charm, historical value, and a respectable market price in today's dollar terms. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, dated 1956, without mint mark. And many people are surprised when they hear that even a normal-looking penny with a dark or black color shade can still have value today. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was produced from 1909 until 1958, and it remains one of the most collected coins in United States history. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and that is why there is no mint mark under the date. When a wheat penny has no mint mark, it always means it was produced in Philadelphia. During this time, the mint was producing hundreds of millions of pennies every year to support the growing economy after World War II. Because of this high production, many people think the coin has no value, but condition, color, and eye appeal play a very important role. This coin is made from a bronze alloy, which is mostly copper. Over time, copper coins naturally change color depending on how they are stored and handled. Some develop a dark brown or almost black shade. This color does not automatically mean damage. Many collectors actually like original dark toning because it shows the coin has not been cleaned or altered. A natural black or deep brown shade can be a sign of originality, which is important in the collector market. The design of the coin is classic and well known. On the front side, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty on the left side and the date 1956 on the right side. Above Lincoln, you see the words, "In God We Trust." This design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first time a real person appeared on a regular issue United States coin. On the back side, you see two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America at the center. This simple design is why the coin is often called the wheat penny. Even though the 1956 wheat penny is common in circulated condition, collectors still look closely for strong details. In a normal circulated coin, you may see wear on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat. On the reverse, the wheat lines may be softer but still visible. A coin with a full, clear date and readable lettering is always more desirable than one that is heavily worn or damaged. One important thing collectors watch for is originality. A normal black or dark brown color that developed naturally over decades can actually help the value compared to a coin that was harshly cleaned. Cleaning removes the original surface and can lower collector interest. A naturally aged coin with even, dark color and no major scratches, dents, or corrosion is always more attractive. Now let's talk about value in today's market. In very worn condition with heavy damage, a 1956 wheat penny may only be worth a small amount. However, a circulated example in solid condition with normal black color shade can bring more interest. From recent market trends, a 1956 wheat penny with original dark toning can sell for around $50 to $100 depending on eye appeal and overall preservation. Coins with sharper details and smoother surfaces can go higher, especially if the color is even and natural. If the coin shows stronger details and less wear, it can move into a higher value range. A nicer circulated piece can sell for $150 or more when collectors are competing for quality examples. Even though it is not a rare date, the demand for original wheat pennies keeps prices steady. Collectors also check coins carefully for mint errors. While major errors on 1956 pennies are uncommon, small die cracks, doubled features, or off-center strikes can increase value significantly. Any unusual features should always be examined carefully because even a common date can become valuable with the right error. The reason wheat pennies like this remain popular is because they are affordable pieces of history. They connect collectors to the mid-1950s, a time of growth, change, and optimism in the United States. Holding a coin from this era feels like holding a small piece of everyday history that once passed through countless hands. If you have a 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in a normal black color shade, the best thing you can do is keep it safe. Store it in a dry place, avoid cleaning it, and protect it from further damage. Over time, collector interest in original wheat pennies continues to grow, especially as fewer untouched examples remain available. So, before you dismiss an old dark penny as worthless, take a closer look. The 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny may seem ordinary, but in the right condition with natural color, it can still hold real value in today's coin market and remains a favorite among collectors who appreciate history, originality, and classic American coinage. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny has a story that makes it one of the most talked about coins in American history. And even though many examples are common, the interest around this coin has never faded because it represents a very unusual moment when history directly changed the way money was made. To truly understand the importance of the 1943 Lincoln Wheat Steel Penny without a mint mark, we need to go back to the early 1940s when the United States was fully involved in World War II. The entire country shifted into wartime mode. Factories changed what they produced, everyday materials were rationed, and even items people used daily were affected by the needs of the military. Copper was one of the most important materials for the war effort because it was used for ammunition, electrical wiring, and military equipment. Because of this, the government made the decision to stop using copper for pennies in 1943. This was not a small decision because the Lincoln cent had been made of bronze for decades, but wartime pressure made it necessary. As a result, the mint introduced a penny made from steel coated with zinc. This instantly changed the look and feel of the coin. Instead of the familiar brown color people were used to, the new penny looked silver and shiny. Many Americans at the time were confused, and some even thought it was a dime. The sound it made when dropped was different, and the way it reacted to magnets was different too, because steel is magnetic. Unlike copper pennies, the 1943 steel cent would stick to a magnet, which is one of the easiest ways to identify it today. The design of the coin itself remained the same. On the front, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, continued to appear. Lincoln was facing right, with strong, clear features, and the words, "In God We Trust," along the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1943, below. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design remained, with two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design had already become iconic by the 1940s, and collectors today still admire its simplicity and symbolism. A 1943 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry a mint mark, which is why the space below the date is blank. Even though millions of these coins were produced, the condition of the coin is what makes the real difference in value today. An extra fine condition coin is one that has seen some circulation but still retains strong detail. In this grade, Lincoln's hairlines are still visible, his cheek shows only light wear, and the wheat stalks on the reverse remain sharp and well-defined. The coin still has good eye appeal and clearly shows its original design. One thing that makes the 1943 steel penny challenging is its tendency to corrode. Unlike copper, steel reacts quickly to moisture. If the zinc coating wears off, the steel underneath can rust, which is why many surviving examples are heavily damaged, spotted, or darkened. Coins that avoided rust and remain clean are much more desirable. Even in extra fine condition, collectors look closely for signs of corrosion because rust can significantly reduce value. In today's market, a normal 1943 Lincoln Wheat steel penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition has a modest value. These coins are generally valued in the range of under $1 to a few dollars, depending on overall appearance. Coins that still have a bright, original zinc coating and minimal spotting tend to be more attractive to collectors. While this may not sound impressive, it is important to remember that this value is far above face value and reflects steady collector demand rather than rarity. Many people have heard stories about 1943 pennies being worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those stories usually refer to extremely rare errors, where the coin was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet instead of steel. Those bronze 1943 pennies are among the most famous error coins in American numismatics and are completely different from the standard steel penny. The regular steel cent, like the one being discussed here, is valuable for its historical importance, not because it is rare. Collectors continue to seek out 1943 steel pennies because they represent a one-year type coin. This means that the steel composition was only used in 1 year for Lincoln cents. After 1943, the mint returned to a copper-based alloy in 1944, using recycled shell casings from the war. This makes the 1943 steel penny a unique snapshot in the timeline of American coinage. Many collectors enjoy building date sets or type sets, and this coin is an essential piece in those collections. Another reason this coin remains popular is because it is often the first collectible coin people discover. Many individuals remember finding one in a drawer or old jar and being surprised by its color. That moment of curiosity often leads to learning more about coins and history. In that way, the 1943 steel penny has introduced countless people to coin collecting. From a long-term perspective, the value of an extra-fine 1943 steel penny without a mint mark is stable. It's unlikely to suddenly skyrocket in price, but it also holds steady demand. Because it's affordable, it remains accessible to new collectors, and because it has historical significance, experienced collectors still respect it. Condition will always be the key factor. Clean, well-preserved examples will always be more desirable than damaged or rusty. When evaluating one of these coins, it's important to check weight, magnetism, and surface quality. The coin should weigh around 2.7 grams and should be attracted to a magnet. Any unusual color or lack of magnetism may indicate something different and worth further examination. However, most examples found are standard steel cent. Holding a 1943 Lincoln Wheat steel penny is like holding a piece of wartime America. It reflects sacrifice, adaptation, and change during one of the most difficult periods in history. Even though it was only meant to be a temporary solution, it became one of the most memorable coins ever produced. The fact that it still circulates among collectors today shows how powerful a simple object can be when tied to real historical events. In conclusion, the most valuable aspect of a 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat steel penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition is its story.
Its market value today in dollars is modest, usually around the low dollar range, but its historical value is far greater. It stands as a reminder of a nation at war, a mint adapting to shortages, and a coin that broke tradition for the sake of necessity. For collectors and history lovers alike, this penny remains a fascinating and meaningful piece of American numismatic history.
Next up, the 1980 Lincoln penny with D mint mark. And many people get confused when they hear the word wheat penny. So first, this is important to understand that the 1980 Lincoln penny is not a wheat penny, because wheat pennies were only made from 1909 to 1958. But still, many collectors call old copper pennies wheat-style pennies out of habit. So today, we will focus on the real facts and real value of the 1980 D Lincoln penny in good condition. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and it became the first United States coin to feature a real person on the design. This made it very special in American coin history, and by 1980, the design had already changed to the Lincoln Memorial on the back, which replaced the wheat ears design many years ago. The 1980 penny with a D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, and the small letter D can be seen below the date on the front side of the coin. This mint produced billions of pennies in 1980, which means the coin is common, but common does not always mean worthless. One important reason collectors still care about the 1980 Lincoln penny is because it is made mostly of copper before the big change in penny composition that happened in the early 1980s. Copper pennies are heavier and more desirable to collectors compared to modern zinc pennies. When we talk about good condition, it means the coin has been used in circulation but still shows clear details. Abraham Lincoln's face is visible, the date is readable, and the letters are not completely worn out, but there is visible wear from everyday use. In today's market, a 1980 D Lincoln penny in good condition is generally worth more than face value. Most examples sell for around 15 cents to 40 cents, depending on overall appearance, color, and demand at the time of sale. Darker coins with heavy wear are usually on the lower side of that range, while brighter coins with better detail can reach the higher end. This value may not seem high, but remember, this is still many times more than 1 cent. And for collectors who save copper pennies, these small values add up over time. Some people believe every old penny is rare, but the truth is, condition matters more than age. A 1980 penny in poor condition may only be worth face value, while a well-preserved example, even from the same year, can be worth several times more. Uncirculated examples from 1980 with full detail and original color can sell for several dollars, but those coins are harder to find because most pennies from that year entered circulation and were used for many years. Error coins from 1980 also exist, such as off-center strikes or double details, and those coins can be worth much more, but they are not common and require careful inspection. For the average collector or beginner, the key thing to remember is that a normal 1980 D Lincoln penny in good condition has modest value and is mainly collected for its copper content and place in American coin history. If you find one in your pocket change or old coin jar, do not throw it away. Check the date, check the mint mark, and look at the condition. Even common coins can teach you a lot about collecting and value. The Lincoln Penny series is one of the longest-running coin designs in the world, and every year adds another chapter to that story. And the 1980 D penny represents the final era of traditional copper cents before major changes began. So, in simple words, the 1980 D Lincoln penny in good condition is worth around 15 to 40 cents in today's market, depending on condition and buyer interest. And while it will not make you rich, it is still a collectible coin worth keeping. If you enjoy searching coins, remember, patience, knowledge, and condition are the most important things in coin collecting, and sometimes the smallest coin can still have value. Next up, the 1954 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark in normal, circulated, dirty condition. We will cover its historical context, mintage details, design features, errors, if any, market value, and why collectors are so interested in this particular coin. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had been in circulation since 1859. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can be found on some early examples of the penny. The obverse of the coin features a profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on the left side of the coin and the date on the right. The motto, "In God We Trust," appears above Lincoln's head on the top edge of the coin. The reverse side of the coin features the now classic wheat ears design that flanks the words 1 cent, United States of America. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, and it is beloved for its classic simplicity and historical significance. The 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at multiple locations including the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark that appears just below the date on the obverse of the coin. The 1954 D Lincoln Penny is part of a larger series of Lincoln cents that were minted following the post-war era, when the United States economy was booming and coin production was steadily increasing. During this period, most Lincoln Wheat Pennies were produced in large quantities with circulation in mind rather than collector's editions. The total mintage for the 1954 D Lincoln Penny was over 650 million pieces, making it relatively common compared to earlier, rarer dates. Despite its high mintage, the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny has managed to retain value, especially in collectible markets depending on its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, or those with rare errors or variations, can fetch higher prices. However, even coins in normal, circulated, dirty condition have a dedicated following among collectors who appreciate them for their historical context and as part of completing a full Lincoln Wheat Penny collection. The condition of a coin is critical when determining its value. Coins that are in circulated, dirty condition will have some wear on the high points of the design, including Lincoln's cheek and jawline, as well as slight flattening on the wheat stalks on the reverse side. Side scratches, dirt, discoloration, and minor nicks are common in coins that have been in circulation for decades. But even with these signs of wear, the 1954 D Lincoln Penny can hold moderate collector value. Many coins in this category are valued between $2 to $5 on average in today's market. However, coins that are in better preserved condition or have exceptional eye appeal can command higher prices and draw more interest from collectors and dealers. Collectors are often drawn to the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny because it represents an era in American history when the country was transitioning from the post-war economy into the 1950s economic boom. It is a tangible piece of history that connects people to the mid-20th century. The coin is also part of the broader Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which is highly collectible and offers opportunities to complete full date and mint mark collections. This means that even coins in circulated condition have a place in the market and can be sought after by collectors who are filling in gaps in their collections. In terms of market value, it is important to remember that the market fluctuates based on demand and supply. A normal, circulated, dirty 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny typically ranges between $2 and $5 in private sales, auctions, and online marketplaces. This valuation is for coins without any significant errors or unique characteristics. Coins with errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet issues, may sell for significantly higher prices, depending on rarity and collector demand. When evaluating a 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, collectors often look for details such as the clarity of the date and mint mark, the level of wear on Lincoln's portrait, and the overall eye appeal of the coin. While dirt and discoloration are common and expected in circulated coins, they do not dramatically diminish the appeal for someone who is seeking to complete a collection or appreciate it as a piece of historical currency. Cleaning coins is generally discouraged because it can damage the patina and reduce the value in collectors' eyes. To summarize, the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in normal, circulated, dirty condition is a coin that represents a significant piece of American numismatic history. It features the classic Lincoln portrait by Victor David Brenner and the wheat ears design that made this series iconic for decades. With a mintage of over 650 million pieces, it is relatively common but still holds value for collectors, especially those completing a full series. Even in circulated condition, these coins are generally valued between $2 and $5 in today's market, while coins with superior preservation or rare errors can command higher prices and draw more interest from collectors and dealers. Owning a 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny allows you to have a piece of history that circulated in everyday American life. It's a reminder of the economic and cultural landscape of the 1950s and a testament to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln as a figure honored on the nation's coinage. Collectors value it for both its design and the story it tells about the era in which it was produced. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, this coin is a meaningful addition to any collection and provides an accessible entry point into the world of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. In conclusion, the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in normal, circulated, dirty condition offers collectors the chance to own a piece of history without the high cost associated with rarer coins. Its classic design, historical significance, and moderate market value make it an enduring favorite among collectors. Even in less than perfect condition, it holds both aesthetic and historical appeal and represents an important chapter in the story of United States coinage. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting.
Next up, the Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, dated 1956 without mint mark. And many people are surprised when they hear that even a normal-looking penny with a dark or black color shade can still have value today. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was produced from 1909 until 1958, and it remains one of the most collected coins in United States history. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and that is why there is no mint mark under the date. When a wheat penny has no mint mark, it always means it was produced in Philadelphia. During this time, the mint was producing hundreds of millions of pennies every year to support the growing economy after World War II. Because of this high production, many people think the coin has no value, but condition, color, and eye appeal play a very important role. This coin is made from a bronze alloy, which is mostly copper. Over time, copper coins naturally change color depending on how they are stored and handled. Some develop a dark brown or almost black shade. This color does not automatically mean damage. Many collectors actually like original dark toning because it shows the coin has not been cleaned or altered. A naturally black or deep brown shade can be a sign of originality, which is important in the collector market. The design of the coin is classic and well known. On the front side, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty on the left side and the date 1956 on the right side. Above Lincoln, you see the words "In God We Trust." This design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first time a real person appeared on a regular issue United States coin. On the back side, you see two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America at the center. This simple design is why the coin is often called the wheat penny. Even though the 1956 wheat penny is common in circulated condition, collectors still look closely for strong details. In a normal circulated coin, you may see wear on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and coat. On the reverse, the wheat lines may be softer but still visible. A coin with a full, clear date and readable lettering is always more desirable than one that is heavily worn or damaged. One important thing collectors watch for is originality. A normal black or dark brown color that developed naturally over decades can actually help the value compared to a coin that was harshly cleaned. Cleaning removes the original surface and can lower collector interest. A naturally aged coin with even dark color and no major scratches, dents, or corrosion is always more attractive. Now, let's talk about value in today's market. In very worn condition with heavy damage, a 1956 wheat penny may only be worth a small amount. However, a circulated example in solid condition with normal black color shade can bring more interest. From recent market trends, a circulated 1956 wheat penny with original dark toning can sell for around $50 to $100, depending on eye appeal and overall preservation. Coins with sharper details and smoother surfaces can go higher, especially if the color is even and natural. Collectors also check coins carefully for mint errors. While major errors on 1956 pennies are uncommon, small die cracks, doubled features, or off-center strikes can increase value significantly. Any unusual features should always be examined carefully because even a common date can become valuable with the right error. The reason wheat pennies like this remain popular is because they're affordable pieces of history. They connect collectors to the mid-1950s, a time of growth, change, and optimism in the United States. Holding a coin from this era feels like holding a small piece of everyday history that once passed through countless hands. So if you have a 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in a normal black color shade, the best thing you can do is keep it safe. Store it in a dry place, avoid cleaning it, and protect it from further damage. Over time, collector interest in original wheat pennies continues to grow, especially as fewer untouched examples remain available. So before you dismiss an old, dark penny as worthless, take a closer look. The 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny may seem ordinary, but in the right condition, with natural color, it can still hold real value in today's coin market, and it remains a favorite among collectors who appreciate history, originality, and classic American coinage.